So that is basically how to use materials and how to just run it. The main thing with watercolour is that it looks terribly fast, but it actually isn't. So my advice to you is to, in other words, this has to dry before you can then continue. This will be much better if you get the right colour and position things in a nice way. Think about it. So the fact that it looks so fast and fresh is a total. It's like tricking you, because it may have taken a lot longer before because you have taken time to let it dry. You've taken time to think about where you're going to position things. Being simple, describing each object with a very simple colour and tone. So that tree is going to be spiky green leaves, that grass is going to be smooth yellow-green, that sky is going to be blobs of blue. Everything nice and simple, simple proposition, beautifully done. Think about it, don't rush, and you'll get a much better result. One other thing, and we will look at that, which is you can overlay colour with watercolour a lot. So if you do something like this and it's a little bit too pale, don't panic and start throwing masses of water in it. Just wait a little bit because it's translucent medium. So when it's dry, which it is now, you don't have to go, it's like putting coloured plastic on coloured plastic. You don't have to go darker to go darker. Anything will make it darker. Paler green than that will make that darker. Nothing ever gets covered over. It just gets added to in a translucent way. So if I want, this pigment's not coming up very well. All the pigments are slightly that's better. So if I want to make this darker at any stage, I can. So when it's wet it will get diluted. Overloading the page with masses of water doesn't really do it. Everything will just get diluted and diluted. In other words, I've seen lots of watercolourists do this, which is have a very diluted this, and so you go like that, not dark enough, so you go like this, more water, so you're diluting it again, more of this, so you're actually increasing the amount of water to pigment ratio, and then going again. This will end up a dreadful mess and paler in the end. Yeah? So don't...
And I'm sort of going to fake it up a little bit and bring them a bit closer, just to make my piece a little more interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to, I've got my big tree here. And see, with the charcoal you can put it on and then you can wipe it out. So I put that tree on and I can just wipe that there. These little ones. Okay. Then you need to go on to, so to get that one started, you could put a little bit of compressed charcoal in, so if you squint a little bit at your scene, you can see what's darkest. So the trees are actually a little bit lighter, aren't they? And then we've got darkness behind. Okay. So you can use your compressed charcoal to put a bit of sort of soft dark in behind here. Just using shading. Wipe it out with your finger a bit. Okay. But remember, the compressed charcoal, once it goes on it, you can't wipe it back. It just stays there.
Sally, Roadbreak?
Oh no, I haven't done enough. I just thought I'd just have a look. Is that alright? I just...
Please see if you can share, particularly with these larger tubs. There will be more than enough in there for, you know, for 2 or 3 people, and obviously you can keep coming back here and refilling them. So we've got our little water station here. So basically, and we've got boards and watercolor paper. So what you'll do is you'll be able to tear off a sheet of that, grab a sheet of cardboard to lean against as you're drawing today. If you've got your own sketch pad that you want to use, more than fine. Heaps of large, loose inky brushes and a smaller bag of both large, loose inky brushes and what have we got in here? A couple of like little smaller brushes. Now, as I said, you're more than welcome to, I'll encourage everyone, I can't obviously force anyone, but using the end of a smaller size paintbrush, these ones you obviously can't, but if you're using something like this, find a twig or a stick and you'll be able to do some wonderful things with that. So all the brushes are in there. I don't think anyone will have to fight over the brushes because there's heaps. So you'll have a little bucket like this that will just be your pure water. Great, this is the slowest bucket on the planet, so let's just leave that there. And I put it right over a rock, so I can't even drop that down there. I'm just going to do that much. Okay. Now, we've got 2 types of ink here. We've got Derivan drawing ink and Sumi ink. Sumi ink is really dark. It's very, very dark, much darker than this. So if you're using this, you need like the tiniest splash, and you will have to dilute it quite a bit to get your washes. Otherwise, it will just stay very, very, very dark. So if you're using a tub like this, and a little Sumi ink, now, particularly if you're wearing a lovely white shirt to a beautiful little floral dress, you do want to be careful. If you're a younger person and you've got a guardian here with you, please ask them to help. So what you kind of want to do is you probably want the same amount in both of those little sections. Again, you really don't need a lot. So I've done a little squirt in each. We're going to have a light wash and a dark wash. There are a few extra little buckets if you do want a section, you know, with some pure black. Again, unfortunately, this is all we have to work with today. If there are enough for everyone, keep these for your clean water where you're going to be rinsing your brushes. I was going to use these for myself, but here we go. Here's one I prepared for one of you earlier. So what you can do is, what you would want is, I would say you've got a larger section, you want to put more water in that. That will be your really light wash, that will be your medium to your dark wash. So you'll put, when this thing decides to turn on, a bit more water in that, we'll put a bit in that, and I'll be happy with that. Okay? So those would be my 2 washes. As I said, they're at Tyco for $10 for a pack of 5, or you can go to any art store and buy each one for $10 each. So that's fine as well. That's a really good thing to be using. Brushes are usually, again, you can get these toothbrush holders, and they're perfect for carrying your brushes around so they don't get all manky. I usually end up using like 2 or 3 brushes. So see if everyone can end up having a big and a smaller, at least 2 sizes of brushes. Because the bigger brushes will be better for your big loose areas, like lighter washes. Smaller brushes better for tight areas. Other thing, waterproof pens are great for things like this, because you can draw first, you can actually draw your little scene first, and put water right on top of it. It's not going to bleed. So you do want to look for the waterproof section on the pens.
Otherwise, you'll do a beautiful drawing, and the moment you start getting ready to paint, they're gonna bleed everywhere. Which you can get beautiful things anyway, but you'll have that moment of pain in your heart when you realize you have used a non-waterproof pen, and you'll be like, and it's gonna be too late. Too late. So I'm just going to check again the dilution of my paints, because I had like a moment of incompetence there. So that's my nice dark, and that's a good. As I said, the Sumi ink is dark. Perfect. Okay, great. So, yes, as I said, don't sketch too much. I have to literally look around and do exactly what I said not to do, which is don't sit and be tied to where you're sitting for your scene, but so be it. What I'll do is I've got some trees over there. So, seeing over here, golden rule, don't forget foreground, midground, background. So for example, if I was drawing that tree straight through my line of students, that's going to be kind of in my midground. That's not going to be right at the front, down the very bottom of my piece. I'm going to think of it kind of in the midground. Then I've got things happening in the background that I'll definitely draw paler. Like I'll definitely use my lighter washes for that. If I wanted to think about the foreground, maybe I would do that little table, or oh, they had a table of water over there, or anyway, table of water right over here. So I might draw something like that, or I could even draw a couple of, you know, like the trunk of this tree coming in, you know, dissecting my image that way. Because we're probably only going to get 1 or 2 A3 sheets per person for today, don't hesitate about turning your paper over and doing a quick little thumbnail sketch. So something like that, where I would work out really roughly, will this be a good composition, or will I hate myself for the rest of the day and be very, very sad? So I can work out something like this, and again it begins showing you, if I start drawing all the way down there, I'm going to run out of paper and I'll need more space. And then I'll have that.
But that's just what I like. Saw it. And I only bought it because it was on nice. No, I mean, I love it.
These people are doing art. They might go.
Oh, interesting. It's buttery. If you're saying yeah, and I know. Well, look, I buy the big guns.
Yeah. Well, I buy the white titanium Michael Hardy, and I like that.
But I know what you mean. Like you do. Yeah. And it just depends what paint you like the feel of. Like I love how buttery.
Well, I like the titanium white.
Yeah.
And I really like the blue. But I'm liking this, you know, the lighter ones. Yeah.
It's a shock to the system when you get the bill, but it's worth. Then you don't have to think about it for a long time.
Exactly. And you use blue all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then last year but it wasn't so much that, it was just a bit of and also the responsibility, because not being an expert, No, I thought we all did brilliant, and I really did feel like it was jumping. But I just thought that everybody was. Yeah.
If I stand up, will I be? No, I'm fine.
I do. Well, I just saw
This is awesome, age.
Really a lot going on there. No way that we're going to lead into the image. You've really got to squint your eyes to see it. Whereas here we've got a really nice solid. They talk about an S shape in your composition.
I took a photo.
So you go with your intuition there in terms of what you're thinking. Yeah, that's great. That's a nice S shape. Go with that.
Yeah, it'd be great. But some of our tutors actually do go on pioneer for their classes. Sash Frost, Nicole Kelly.
Hello.
Hi. Classes or just as well as workshops. They can go out to
There's a market stall that's just receiving Rayfield that has all chicken fibre, no dyes at all, and that would be perfect for using your diet. There's a market stall at
Excuse me guys, sorry to interrupt. I just need to ask you to check in.
All sorts of things made of just undyed fibre. Can that stay for a bit, or do you want the undyed cotton, undyed hair? So that would be great to actually using it for dyed lamp.
So then, are you waiting for it? It makes no difference. It's all good.
Oh, I love it. Good. So with when you have enough length and you want to try adding in some different material, the way to do that, you'll notice that when you've got a cord, that you can untwist it by reverse kind of twisting, I guess, to make a hole. You've probably done that before. If I'm making a loop and I've got a knot at the end, and I often hang my garlands by making a loop, so you use the same idea. You undo your string and you poke through the knot, and then you twist it back up, and then you've made your loop to hang it. Okay, and it's the same technique to make a bracelet. If you've just got a short piece and you're making a bracelet, so you untwist and poke through. So if you're putting in a garland leaf, same principle, untwist and poke through. For garlands, therefore, it does help if you've made fairly tight string. But you know, that's something that comes with practice. The other secret is if you're not, if you don't finish today and you want to take some things home and do it, I tend to put a dab, particularly if I'm selling them. I don't want leaves to fall out.
I put a dab of craft glue or PVC glue on each join, and then it just secures the leaf. And so something like that will live on for years. If you put it on the wall where it doesn't get bumped, obviously the leaves are fragile, but the leaves really are the fragile bit. And so if you hang it on the wall as an art object, I've got them hanging up in the gallery if you want to see some. You know, those big leaves will only, you know, will last forever if you, you know, don't bash them and break them. But there are, yeah, and
Oh,
but
wow,
there are,
that looks gorgeous. Beautiful.
so this is bougainvillea,
Oh, right.
ginkgo leaf, isn't it? I think I just had when.
Oh, great.
And so blossoms, the Australian flowering gum retains colour really well, and you learn over time what keeps colours longer than other things. If you keep, you know, if I dry them and keep them in the dark, they seem to have colour for years. And even after I put them on the wall, the pink stems. Now I think this piece is probably well over 12 months old. So Australian plants work well. Dried gum leaves are fabulous. Obviously they will retain some green for years. So I think, you know, I used to send my son these in Paris just to make him feel homesick. He enjoyed that, yeah. But, you know, big gum nuts, we're certainly in a country that we can really take advantage of the materials that we have. And a lot of our natural native plants are a lot more robust than the big autumn leaves of the non-Indigenous trees. But the thing is, they're deciduous, and so I was just, you know, I've been walking around picking up red leaves. And when autumn leaves drop, springtime I think, and they're orange and yellows, and it's just a beautiful way of bringing all the colour in, because that colour does last for some time. It will all fade, but you know, we're all fading, aren't we? So I think that's okay. Fancy paper. Thank you. Did I miss anybody? You've got yours? Give you a few to share. Getting out of my... No, they're dead. Well, thank you so much.
That's not how you paint normally, is it?
It depends what I'm painting, Mum.
Kay did my Year 12 dress. Kay's always been creative. She made my Year 12 dress.
I know. Kay's never still. She's got to do something every day. She goes walking or...
Excellent.
They've got a group, they go out.
Do you need a bit more sparkles?
I don't.
Do you need sparkles?
Not really.
Do you want sparkles?
Not really.
Go out to dinner with us. Do you think sparkles would make your skin brown? If we get a thin brown one. This is quite ornamental. Did you need the brown ones? Up into the brown.
Well, that's what that's very
But you suggest starting with a light.
Yeah, and then using a board and then adding details later.
Okay.
Come on, me. I'm going to take this.
Your own worst critic. Yeah, exactly. Baby, relax, let go. Enjoy another bit outside. No one's going to buy this or anything. Yeah, so we're alright. Trying to break the world record. I'm done. Yeah, let's find out if they kind of get it announced. They have to apply after this.
Yes.
I'm sure it doesn't matter.
You guys been pretty cute.
You can put in your tab.
This goes in each long line.
Where are you coming?
Down like a U.
Yes. A contrast.
And then that one over here. And a line. And let's see how they'll come around. How to work it.
Okay, and over this side, at the back here, this might help you. We're going to put this in. So a line up, and then... Can you see what's going on?
Definitely a dog.
Definitely a dog. Okay, now along this line here, we're going to put a line that goes out and then a little circle at the end. And then do the same pattern as here. So we're going to go in like this. Does anyone know what that is?
It's like a nose.
Yeah. Okay. And now let's put his ears in. And you can do any ears you want. I like doing these ones because it adds movement. So what we're creating at the moment, I run out of paper but we're doing a dancing dog. So can you see him coming in? I'll go around in, I'm going to go over this in text now. I have to do this upside down.
I love you.
Yeah, very good.
Hello. We're drawing people and their dogs, so you have to go home and get your dog and come back, alright? If you don't steal someone else's, then come back and show us and we'll draw you guys. So we're learning to draw a dancing dog. Very good. Nice. Good. How'd you go? Oh, I love his eyes. Oh, there's spots under his eyes. Oh, that's nice. You've got a fox.
I made mine a wolf.
A wolf? Oh my goodness.
Me too.
What are you doing?
Mine's a wolf. Look at you just stretching its back.
That's perfect.
Don't run yet.
So don't be afraid to make. You know how we talked about the dark leaves and then the lighter leaves? Yeah? To make some dense areas in there but without doing the outline, okay? Yeah, make it darker in the centre and treat the inside of the trunk as important too. So it's got those lovely horizontal lines that give you a sense of the curve.
And one of the things too is it doesn't matter how you draw your characters, as long as they've got a funny face, a good face on them. So you guys might not be able to see that very well. I tend to draw my characters all like this.
And there was even a smear campaign a while like there was
Beautiful. Thanks for joining today. It's been so lovely having you. Yeah, please keep your artwork. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
See you, Emily.
Okay, Laura, don't mind me.
Okay, cool.
Better, easier said than done.
Oh, do you want another piece of paper?
I'm ready. I think I'm ready for my water.
Yes, you are. Oh, this is cool. I like
tried.
The top-down view and the side view have to
I
be
know.
there together. And this one too. Good,
Yeah.
good job.
Thank you for someone who can't do art at all.
I don't believe you. I think you're... That's just... See, imagine if you repeated that pattern, it'd make a beautiful wallpaper. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like Art Deco.
Yep.
So here is, I mean, have a look at, see which ones, they're all slightly different, but all have sort of basically browns and greens. So which one would suit your plant the best? And there's a brush. And you can fill up some water from the water table station right there.
And so I draw it, and then I just put a little bit of water on the brush and just smudge.
Just smudge and try and keep within the lines, I guess, as well with your brush as well. So not too much water. You can just use the tip of your brush. Have a bit of a practice if you want to do. I can give you a sheet.
Paper, don't I?
Yeah, have a practice one.
Oh, so you just do it on this paper?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, do you want some watercolor paper to draw again?
Oh, no, I don't want to draw it.
ఎవరు తీసుకున్నాను
So I move quite fast now, so I lay down the paint. So we put some... I'm going to bring back some sky here. Just in the background, I'm just going to grab... So I'll just demonstrate, we don't have these here today. We have these, I will show you with these. I wanted to get some structure in here of these houses. I'm also not looking at what I'm doing, so I need to, it's getting a bit messy. But I want to put in some detail, so, you know, and again, hold it like this. So I'm not going to look at what I'm actually drawing first, I'm going to show you the pencil technique. You know, there's a...
Oh, the Ghanaian.
Yes. How do you make the... Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so you've got your knot at the end. And you come back, you decide what size loop you want. So if you wanted a big loop, you're going in there. If you want a short loop, you're going in there. So we're going in there. And we're just really twist it. Stick it through. I should call all my friends. No, they're opening today.
So, no, it's okay. It's like, it's a traditional one.
And then you what? You just try this off on the
And not, and do the same.
and do the same.
Are you?
I know, I'm just wondering. I'm going, I'm keeping going.
So if I've also
I know they don't, but that's what I can do, sorry. I thought you were going to draw with pencil first.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All your work is good hanging up.
Here's your pencil.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's good on the library, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, Aaron did a good job as well. Excellent. Good to see you.
Yeah, you know, you probably
This is my food.
After this with details about the exhibition. So just briefly, it would be about dropping your work off on the 15th, and then we'll have an opening of sorts on the 22nd, and the show is up till the 30th. So everyone is welcome. You don't have to worry about framing too much. We're going to be cleaning up your work, salon style. The other thing...
No, listen, you don't have to worry about framing too much.
No, well at all really. I mean really, what I mean is you don't have to. I kind of have to. The other thing to say is that this is part of a broader arts activity. I'll leave some of these flyers. So it's art camp. So the shipping containers along the canal have been artist studios over the last weeks, and next weekend will be the culmination of those artist practice, and they'll be presenting their work. So next weekend there'll be theatre, music, performance here if you'd like to come back, have a picnic, bring the family, and you know, recover from your art experience.
Explain that, I wasn't fully aware of what was terrible.
So you're also welcome to go for a wander now. I'll leave some of these maps here if you're interested. So job done on that front. You've got some.
That's right, you could go and see what other groups